Hello everyone, my name is Zeroed and we are back with another video, and today I'm going to be making this video to talk about three, in my opinion, of some of the most misunderstood anime characters of all time. Now, some of these may not be up on your list, and that is okay, but these are on mine because I see a lot of people just not getting what these characters are supposed to be like. But anyways, so let's just head on into the video, starting with Exhibit A. Alright, for Exhibit A, our first character is Son Goku. Now, most of the time, he is considered a bad father and terrible person. Now, here are my counterclaims. Number one, he's not a bad father, because he's shown countless times that he does care lots for his family. He would do anything to protect them. Like, for example, dying for Gohan twice in one series, but no one wants to bring up how he died to save Gohan's life 2 times. But they want to still get on Goku for being a bad dad over one moment, which, when you really think about it, it makes sense, which is the Senzu Bean incident, which I'll go over right now. Cell Saga. Goku taps out for fighting Cell, puts up Gohan, gives Cell a Senzu Bean. Basically just needed to give Gohan a little nudge to get his new form, because he knows that Gohan can do it. No one else believes that he can do it but Goku believes in Gohan, which no one else did. In fact, they all were flaming him for being a terrible father, which I don't say he's a bad dad. In fact, I don't think this is a good dad moment. I think, like, it's not a good dad moment, but at the same time it's logical, because realistically, what other options do y'all have? 16 can't blow himself up and kill Cell because his bomb got deactivated, and Cell just simply regenerate. No one else can use instant transmission and just straight warp Cell off the planet, and only Goku can do it, and even then, Cell probably just regenerate like he did beforehand, of how he simply regenerated and learned instant transmission, ignored Horn in the background. So realistically, what's stopping him from doing that if Goku just did it early? So realistically, there would only really just be one point in time, which is now. And technically, the plan was successful of killing Cell. Kill Cell. The plan worked. Gohan killed him. That Gohan just put belt to ass on that man. The only reason he didn't kill him beforehand is oh my god, I can't speak English, because he got cocky and did not kill him immediately. Which even Goku doesn't kill his opponents immediately. If a Saiyan knows they're stronger than you, they're just not gonna kill you. That's not just Saiyan biology. That's not a confirmed Saiyan fact, but he might as well be confirmed that if they know you're strong, if they know they're stronger than you, they will not kill you immediately. They're just gonna savor it. But another argument is that he is always off planet, not with his kids. Which, even then, he still comes back to Earth multiple times to spend time with his loved ones. And even then, you can't really blame him. That's just his biology. That's in his genes to want to get stronger. That's just Saiyan blood. It's not his fault he was born purebred Saiyan. He may have been raised by a human, well, not really even raised, because he was only raised for a short time before his caretaker Grandpa Gohan was killed by his own hand by accident. But still, you can't really blame him for not being that smart and knowledgeable on child things, or in human culture in general, like driving. You can't really expect him to function like a normal human adult and like a normal father, because he isn't a normal father. He wasn't even taught human ways of handling kids like that. nor more less even for Saiyan ways, because he didn't even know he was a Saiyan for like half of his life. He just thought he was a guy with a tail that was really strong. And also people just say that he's an idiot, which, I mean, it really depends on the circumstance. He quite literally just turns into Light Yagami when it comes to fighting people. Because his decision making is just on point every time he fights. And there are multiple instances of that. Like the Warp Kamehameha is actually a next level play that obviously Cell would not expect Goku to just rush in front of him and blast him in the face. Another thing that people say that I do not agree with is that Goku's a terrible person. And a lot of people instantly bring up the Tournament of Power and that it's Goku's fault. Number one, Goku never said he wanted to destroy. He wanted universes to be destroyed. He wanted strong people to fight in a tournament. He never said nothing about universes destroyed. In fact, people forget that in the Zeno Expo, when they were just sparring with each other, there was a chance for no universes to be destroyed if Bergamo beat Goku. In fact, Goku was planning on throwing the fight. He literally said, or at least in the English version, he said, okay, if I just throw the fight, nobody gets destroyed. Grand Priest immediately got on him and said, go full power. So he had no choice but to win. Plus, already the universes with lower mortal levels were going to get destroyed by the Zenos. So you can just search that up. They were already planning on doing that. They just decided to have the Tournament of Power be a chance to, fight for your survival. And they expected people to wish back the universes anyways. So when 17 did that, they knew that was going to happen. Realistically, if Goku won, he would probably do the exact same thing because that's just a Goku thing to do. That's just what Goku does. He would reasonably bring back the people who died to this tournament. Now, I do think he could take, Zeno a little bit more seriously since, the destructive capability of destroying multiple universes, but still. He was not fully responsible for Tournament of Power being as deadly as it was. So, that is not a valid argument to get on him about. It really just comes down to, did you read the manga or watch the anime? Yeah, I know I brought it to reading or watching comprehension. It sometimes just draws down to that when people talk about Goku. Did you actually do your research? Because again, I also saw another video saying that Goku just hooked up with Chi-Chi, who's just some broke girl. Which she isn't. She actually, number one, she chooses to live in the mountainside. It's never stated that they're broke. Goku has a functioning job. It's just, number one, he's a Saiyan, so obviously he's going to spend more time training than doing a job. And number two, threats happen almost all the time in Dragon Ball. Are you honestly expecting him to spend more time being a farmer than training for the next big threat? Especially when Frieza's still out there? He already just spun back on the block after Tournament of Power and one-tapped after Vegeta and Goku in their strongest forms and then just kills Gas in one hit. So naturally they have to be ready for that. So, yeah, saying he's just some broke idiot loser, that is wrong. Like, very wrong. But overall, those are my thoughts on Goku being misunderstood, and those are my points. So now we will get into Exhibit B. Welcome to Exhibit B, and today we are going to talk about Jotaro Kujo. He is on my list for misunderstood characters, and it's not as an egregious case as Goku, or just not a lot of people really read or watched Dragon Ball, so they don't know what they're talking about whatsoever. For Jotaro, it's just smaller, and sometimes it really just comes down to opinion. But a lot of people just say he's just emotionless and feels nothing but maybe anger towards people. Or that he just has no care. Which, number one, is just wrong. The entirety of part 3 is Jotaro going on a journey to kill Dio, and a curse plaguing his entire family bloodline and save his mother, who is terminally ill because of Dio. And I'm just going to say that one of the rage moments that he has is not just of pure anger, but of actual care. Which was against Dio. That wasn't just pure rage, that was actual care, because if Dio doesn't die, his mother dies, his grandfather is already dead. His friend will just die, because, let's be real, Polnareff is not beating Dio. And the planet will just be submerged in darkness. Well, not literally, but you get what I mean. He basically has the fate of the planet riding on him. And naturally, he's speaking from like pure care when he's going over to just beat the shit out of Dio. That's just pure caring for his family and his friends. That's just pure rage type care. Or in part 4, where the majority of the pure heart attack fight, he's prioritizing Koichi over him. He's prioritizing somebody else over himself. He's clearly isn't not just an emotionless character. Like, I can maybe see, like, overall, he's not. For part 3, you can maybe make the argument, but for part 4 to part 3, it's gonna look. Let me take a deep breath. For parts 3, 4, and for parts 4 and 6, he's not emotionless. He definitely has a lot of care for the people he cares about. He's not just gonna sit there and stay stoic all the time. Again, even in his protagonist part, he doesn't stay stoic all the time. Like, if he truly did not care, like, for example, if he truly didn't care about his mom, he would not just say something's wrong as soon as she doesn't come up to kiss him on the cheek before he leaves. He immediately is like, wait, why is she not here? If he didn't care, then he would have just left and just paid it no mind. He would have paid some sort of attention. And also, naturally, he's reading like a duel. He's supposed to be like a delinquent. Why can I not speak English? He's supposed to be like a delinquent because that's just how his time was. He was specifically written to fit the delinquent aesthetic that his time was supposed to be like. So naturally, in part 4, he's gonna start acting like a cool guy, especially since the entire cool guy thing is a front. He's not entirely like that. That's just how he acts to be cool. Compared to later parts, in part 4 and 6, where he's not acting like that, because number 1, he's a grown-ass man with a daughter. Number 2, he doesn't feel the need to act cool anymore. He just is. He has a stable job, he has a wife, he has a daughter, he has a big family. And he's showed countless times of showing emotion and care for that Sade. Okay, bro. I'm not gonna cut these out. I'm gonna leave these so you can laugh at me whatever you want. What I'm trying to say is, in every part he's shown in, he's never shown as emotionless. Now his 2 default expressions that he has are either being pissed off or just not being emotion, or not just being filled with emotion at all, but he still does have emotion. He's not just a plain character. He also does go through an arc, not in his part, but he still does change throughout the story. He's not that same big ass 17-year-old who fought Dio and killed him. He's changed into a successful man who risked everything to save his daughter, and unfortunately, he simply couldn't do it. But overall, I know this one was significantly shorter than Goku, but well, I mean, every part in this video will be shorter than Goku. But overall, that's the end of Exhibit B, and now we will get into the final exhibit, Exhibit C. Okay, now we were on the final exhibit. And this one, I know I've been talking about him a lot, but I don't care. I'm putting Yugi on this list because not a lot of people understand Yugi on a level. Now, I'm not saying they can't read, because most of these people just have not watched or read Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. So I'm here to clear things up. Number 1. Yu-Gi-Oh! Being the king of ass pulls or plot armor. I mean, yeah, he's definitely done some insane things, but if he had just pure plot armor, he would have not lost or just giving wins to people. If he was pure plot armor, he wouldn't have a win-loss. He wouldn't actually have losses. Because trust me, he doesn't even have the highest win-loss rate in the entire franchise of Yu-Gi-Oh! In fact, I don't see enough people saying that Jaden is the king of plot armor, bro. Jaden probably got more plot armor than Yugi, because Jaden has more wins and less losses than Yugi has. Yugi has losses against different characters. Jaden only really has losses against Zane. Like, literally just Zane. No other character was rivaling him. Now, I'm not gonna try and diss Jaden. I like Jaden. But still, if you want to call any Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist plot armor, Jaden is right there. Like, there are some duels that Yugi has lost due to his own decision making. But aside from the plot armor thing, there's also the thing of cheating, which he does not do. But even if you want to say he cheats, his opponents cheat. Like, almost every main villain in Yu-Gi-Oh! Has an ability or card that literally should be cheating. But we don't see people getting called out for it. You only see Yugi getting called out for it. Like, for example, first antagonist of the series, Maximilian Pegasus, Toon World. He's able to summon out a Toon monster and just immediately have them retreat right back in to Toon World to where they cannot be damaged. Now, Kaiba did figure out how the strat worked, but I mean, to be fair, it wasn't actual Pegasus, it was Alistair, but it was cracked because Pegasus still lost a duel. But the point is that not only did Pegasus have a card that allowed him to take his monsters off the field and not have any monsters be destroyed, but he also can, read minds, or could read minds with the Millennium Eye. But you don't get on Pegasus for that. People only want to get on Yugi just because he's the protagonist. Like, as soon as you watch Yu-Gi-Oh!, you're gonna call out, like, as soon as people watch Yu-Gi-Oh!, they're probably gonna call out way more people for cheating. Like, Yugi and Atem just had to start switching minds to actually win that duel. Which a lot, not as much as any of the other antagonists, but a lot was riding on that duel. If Yugi lost that duel, he literally would have lost his life. His soul would have been taken. Like, say your soul is on the line, you're not gonna cheat, My soul, my grandfather's soul, my friend's soul, and his brother's soul. 4 people's lives are on the line right now. And you're worried about the rules. Get out of my face. People worried about the rules, and Yugi's life is on the line right now. 90% of these antagonist duels, I don't care if they're cheating, because number one, cheating don't really matter. The point of the series is to be entertaining, not to play by the rules, especially since the anime came out before the actual card game. So, obviously, the anime's rules would not match up to the card game's rules, simply just due to the time gap. And not only that, why is everyone always so worried about cheating? Again, if you're put in Yugi's shoes, you're not going to tell me you're going to play. You're not going to sit and look at me with a dead face and say, I will play by the rules, even though my life and my grandfather's life is on the line if I lose this duel. And my opponent has a pretty broken ability. Like, you're going up like Darts had a monster with infinite attack. Well, what else was Yugi supposed to do? The world was depending on Yugi. The planet. Not just Yugi dies. Everyone will lose their soul. And you are worried about the rules right now. I would clap and thank bro for cheating. Because if he didn't, we all would have been cooked. We would have died if he did not do that. And people getting on, like, I was watching a video by TSO Sage of him watching anime that are in the gulag, which basically means that his chat would ban anime for him not to watch. Which, side note, his chat has no culture because they literally put Yu-Gi-Oh! And Ben 10 on a banned list of shows that he cannot watch. Which is stupid, but let them have no culture. Anyways, he straight paused the episode, which they were on like the first or second episode. I'm pretty sure it was the second episode. He straight said, is how Mickey is Yugi. And they were straight saying he's worse than Mickey. Again, first of all, he's not. He still has a high amount of skill. Like, he skill diffs a lot of people. In terms of just pure card game, pure card game logic, he skill diffs a lot of people. Like, even without a 10, he's shown to be a skilled duelist. Like, it just feels like people are just undervaluing Yugi when they say, oh, he's nothing but a cheater and a plot armor ass pool king. It's kind of just devaluing the character. Especially since, again, half the people who say these things have never seen a single episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! In their life. So, I highly recommend, before you hate on a character, and you want to be serious about hating on that character, you do your research and actually watch the series and not just look at reviewers. Like, if you watch the series, you'll see that Yugi doesn't really have a lot of options. He kinda has to with these villains. Like Merrick just being able to block all attacks with that not Egyptian Gods line, the Revival Jam. Or, Merrick constantly cheating. But nobody wants to talk about that. But let me stop ranting and just say that overall, Yugi is not well portrayed throughout media by fans, or not by fans, but by people who don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh! He's not shown in a positive light. And I think he is one of the most misunderstood anime characters of all time. But that was me, Zero, coming up with my opinion. So go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever you do on these YouTube videos. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.